It's something that's happening more and more often during the holidays. People coming on your porch, grabbing your package, and taking off. Police are calling them porch pirates, and in response, are cracking down. Whether it's conducting the Lansing Symphony Orchestra, or jumping in a foam pit, there is lots to do during Greater Lansing's Be a Tourist in Your Own Town. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, about 1.1 million people in the United States are living with HIV right now, and about 1 in 7 of those people are unaware of their status. I'm here at the Salvation Army Lansing location, where there are more than 100 people here either getting help or giving it. It's that time of year when it's all about giving back, and that's exactly what people are doing here today. Joining me now is Major Jim Irvin with the Salvation Army. Jim, why is this event so important? We've just learned that 3 people are dead and 3 in critical condition after a small plane crash here at the Capital Region International Airport. Now, if you take a look at this map behind me, this is right where the crash happened. It was right outside of airport property. You can see this yellow line. That's where the cutoff is, and it happened right here just off of Airport Road. Sherry, as you can see behind me, there are still a few cop cars here on scene, and there were a lot more here earlier, but they are still here, and it's been about 6.5 hours now. Consumers Energy officials say one of the most common energy scams is someone calling your phone and pretending to be them and demanding money within a short period of time. The East Lansing School of Rock is officially in session, and everyone involved here says it teaches kids much more than just how to play a song. The commission is also looking for ways to get a better response from people when the state is in an energy emergency, such as when the governor asked everyone to turn their thermostats down to 65 degrees. Hi everyone, I'm here at Galewood Elementary School in Charlotte, where a lot of parents are concerned over the school's recent decision to cancel their Halloween festivities. Roughly 2,500 people in the United States have been exonerated by DNA testing to date, and of those people, 166 serve time on death row. Community members, family, and friends are coming together for a candlelight vigil to remember Juan, Ramiro, and Manolo Zavala, the 3 boys who died in a house fire earlier this week. 6 News reporter Kaylee Marentet is here for you now live outside of the Zavala family's home. Kaylee, what can you tell us tonight? Now, of course, we will be following this story, and we will have updates for you coming up tonight, both on 6 News at 5 and 6, so be sure to stay with us on this breaking story. Here for you live in Lansing, Dana Whyte, 6 News. Back to you. John Lowe was one of the 6 people who was in the plane at the time of the crash, and one of the 3 people who died. And tonight, his wife says she can't even describe how she's feeling.
John, first of all, is a big guy physically. You know, he's very tall, 6'2", very athletic, crossfitted 5 times a week.
Lori Lowe is the wife of John Lowe. Her husband was traveling to Lansing yesterday from Indianapolis when her worst nightmare came true.
I had called the NTSB, I called the sheriff's department, I called the hospital. I was not getting any phone calls back.
She later found out her husband died in the crash.
My son he's a strong kid, but I think that emotionally, this is going to be really tough. John was his hero.
Lori says the support from John's friends means the world to her.
And they're going to help me. Help me with this through the future, as well as his wonderful family.
And for now, she plans to honor her husband and continue sharing the good person that he was.
I don't know if I have words to describe the feeling I have right now about the outpouring of love that I receive from the Center Grove community right now. It's been incredibly amazing and so selfless. I am truly grateful.
Lori also mentioned that John has a huge railroad bell from his father, and their community plans to honor him at a football game on Monday by ringing it for the entire stadium to hear. Some say it looks like a noose, others think it was just a prank. But regardless, the black community here at MSU says they're fed up.
Slaves were hung with nooses and killed, and to be in a dorm where we don't know who did this.
Wisdom Henry is one of the few African American students who live in Bryan Hall, the place where some students say a toilet paper noose was hung over the weekend.
I take offense to that because a noose is not a Halloween prank, it's a hate crime.
The university responded to the act, saying after initial discussions, other students came forward saying they taped up the toilet paper, and it was all meant to just be a Halloween prank and not resemble a noose. The school added, it is important to remember that actions and words meant to hurt someone based on their identity have no place in our community.
Even if it was intended to be just a Halloween prank, that doesn't justify how this student feels. That doesn't justify how it makes our black community feel.
Sharon Reed Davis is the president of the Black Student Alliance.
Stuff like this happens, like I said, like every year or two, and then administration just sweeps it under the rug like it didn't happen.
It just hurt to know that they didn't care about us, how I thought they would care, take charge of the situation, because I want justice to be done for that girl, and I want to feel safe on this campus, and I don't.
Now in response to this, the MSU Black Student Alliance is hosting a community forum tomorrow. It'll start at 6:30 in the Acres Black Caucus Room. Here for you in East Lansing, Dana Whyte, 6 News.
I wanted to be promoted, and I was a cart pusher, but I wanted to do customer service.
Xavier DeGroat knows firsthand what it's like to get pushback from managers because of having autism.
They thought I had no communication skills due to my autism.
He says the experience made him upset.
It made me feel discouraged, disappointed for me going after my own potential in life.
Studies show that 90% of people with disabilities lose their jobs because of having a lack of what's called soft skills.
Focus on different areas of soft skills, including communication, teamwork, positive attitude, and enthusiasm.
That's why a new program at Michigan State is working to combat this. It's called Asset, and Connie Sung developed the course.
Having all these positive outcomes will help them to be more employable.
Elise Johnson works for Peckham, an organization that helps people with disabilities find jobs. She says it's important to know that autism is a spectrum.
You've met one person with autism, you've met one person with autism. It doesn't look the same for everybody.
And DeGroat says managers should take a chance on people like him.
A child and young adult with autism can have great learning skills as long as they are given opportunity to have a job.
About 45%. That's how much small businesses contribute to our country's economy. And here in Old Town Lansing, it's all about shopping small.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
Andrea and Samantha Bartlett aren't just twin sisters. Are you two from Lansing?
We are.
They also co-manage Polka Dots Boutique.
We just love Old Town, and we're so proud of the shop and how far it's come.
As customers poured into their store today for Small Business Saturday, and they worked to help them find the perfect gift.
You can hold one if you want to.
They say shopping small not only brings money into their store,
You're supporting somebody's dream as well. Yes, even if the gift seems very small, we can help you put that purpose behind the gift.
the customers say it gives their everyday shopping trip a more personal touch.
I think it's just fun to hear everybody's stories. We were chatting with the ladies, the twins that work here, and I just feel like they were really able to help us. They're really personable.
A lot of people that we've talked to and met around here is something I'd like to take away.
And for the Bartlett twins,
You're awesome. Thank you so much. You're so welcome.
they're glad to have a job that does much more than just pay the bills.
There is a lot of drive and pride that we take in the pieces that we all choose, and when you shop small, you're supporting the owner's dream, essentially.
Here for you in Old Town, Dana Whyte, 6 News.
I promised the good Lord when I was in prison, if he would bring the truth to light, for the rest of my life, I would dedicate the rest of my life to helping other men and women prove their innocence. Because no one in this country should have to go through what I or my fellow exonerees had to go through. Never.
Kenneth Whynemko grew up in Metro Detroit. He had big dreams and a bright future ahead of him until...
Unfortunately, in 1994, I was arrested, wrongfully convicted of a crime that I didn't commit. There's 15 counts of CSC 1, rape in the first degree, armed robbery, and rape.
According to court records, the victim testified she was repeatedly raped over a 3-hour time period, saying the man tied her to her bed, blindfolded her with underwear, and stole $2,500 from her purse.
She said that he had a deep cleft chin, a deep voice, deep guttural voice. She estimated his height at 6'2" to 6'3". His weight about 230 pounds, about 30 years old. At the time, I was 43 years old, 5'10". I weighed 185 pounds.
Whynemko says police showed up at his house 10 weeks after the crime and arrested him.
I said, you know, what? I didn't even know what you're talking about. And she mentioned the lady's name. I said, I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know who that lady is.
He says he was bullied by police, the lead detective telling him.
He says, you know what, Whynemko? He says, I'm going to start calling you the $1 Million Man. I said, you want to tell me what that's supposed to mean? Because I have no idea what you're talking about. His exact words were, Whynemko, by the time I get done with you, it's going to cost you $1 million to get out of prison.
Court records show during trial, evidence proved that Whynemko had a different blood type than what was left on the victim's sheets. But another prisoner testified that Whynemko did commit the crime. Records also showed that the prisoner had made a deal with the prosecutor to avoid a life sentence in his own case.
2 days later, jury came back, found me guilty on all counts. I was sentenced to 40 to 60 years in prison.
That happened on November 9th, his father's birthday.
I felt like someone had hit me with a stun gun. It felt like all I could see was like fog. And for a minute, I thought I died and I was in hell. I don't know where the hell I was at. It's like I was frozen in time. And you know, it's a day that I'll never forget. No matter how, I've been home now for 16 years, and no matter how hard I try to forget it, I can't.
After spending nearly a decade behind bars studying the law and working with the Innocence Project towards his release, Whynemko won his battle and became a free man.
Those years in prison, what got you through it? What, like, day to day, seeing all of that stuff?
My faith in God, number one.
It's now his life's purpose to help others going through the nightmare that he did.
No one should especially have to go through a situation that's so egregious as mine was, where we proved in federal court that the 3 detectives, the assistant prosecutor, the trial judge, the court-appointed attorney, and the jailhouse snitch, they all conspired to convict an innocent man.
Unfortunately, Whynemko's father passed away while he was behind bars. One of the first things he did when he got out was visit his father's grave.
We went to the grave. Kim and I knelt down, got on my knees, and I kissed his headstone. I said, Dad, I made it home. I made it home. Dana, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. All of a sudden, there was like this light drizzle coming down on me and Kim, okay? And I looked at her, and Kim looked at me. She said, Kenny, what's going on? And I looked up in the sky and said, there's not a cloud anywhere. And I told Kim, I said, Kim, that's my dad knows that I made it home. That's what that tells me. And I'll never forget that as long as I live.
What a story.
Oh, I know. He was such a strong man, and just to hear him say it out loud, it was very powerful.
Did they ever catch the man who actually did the crime, Dana?
Yes, they did. His name is Craig Gonzer, and unfortunately, he couldn't be charged for this crime specifically because it was outside of the statute of limitations. But he did get sentenced to 10 to 25 years in prison in 2010 for exposing himself to his 1-year-old daughter and for other sexual acts in the 1990s.
So if someone wants to get more involved with the Innocence Project after hearing your story, what should they do? Where should they go?
Oh yeah, so I posted all of that information on our website, WLNS.com, under the Scene on 6 section, and I've also posted a link to Ken's website. He wrote a book about his entire experience, so that is up there as well.
All right, thank you for bringing this story to us.
Of course.
We appreciate it.